President Donald Trump signed 4 executive orders on Monday having to do with the military. One goes after transgender service members and prohibits them from serving, does not ban them immediately, however.
Up to 15,000 transgender individuals are serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. That's according to data from the University of California Law School's William Institute.
The order says that military personnel must stick to their birth-assigned genders to be able to serve. Here was Trump talking about this on Monday.
Sure that we have the most lethal fighting force in the world. We will get transgender ideology the hell out of our military. It's going to be gone.
On social media are disappointed over this. Left-leaning commentator Ed Krasenstein posted on X, "There is no good reason for Trump's transgender military ban other than bigotry and hate. Why shouldn't transgender people be allowed to fight for our country?"
Others are applauding the move. Iraq veteran Rob Smith posted, "I'm a combat veteran. I'm also a gay man. Trump is absolutely right to ban trans service members."
So I think this is pretty bad. We have had numerous discussions on trans issues, and I have on other occasions distanced myself from the most progressive element in that. I think when issues of, for example, trans people in sport comes up, I have pretty serious qualms about that. So I heard obviously about this executive order coming out, and I wanted to find out exactly how it was couched and exactly what it did. And so the executive order itself seems to assert that the mere fact of being transgender is inconsistent not only with any kind of specifically physical requirement. It says in the executive order that whether or not someone is in the process of transitioning or not, adoption of a gender identity inconsistent with an individual's sex conflicts with a soldier's commitment to an honourable, truthful and disciplined lifestyle, even in one's personal life. I have huge problems with the idea that someone who is transgender is inherently being dishonest. That seems a very oppressive and repressive view to take.
I'm sure, and transgender people would take the view, many of them, that the dishonesty is sticking with their initial gender.
Right.
Yeah, look, I don't have any desire to kick trans people out of the military, so I'm not for this either. I think the order part of the order focuses on having separate accommodations, making sure that men and women's spaces, that kind of thing. I'm all for that. If there's 15,000 trans service members, you can probably just have a separate third or fourth accommodations for trans men and trans women would be fine. I don't see the need to remove them from the military.
Well, no, nor do I, but I think that's why the rhetoric of this is so disconcerting. It talks about the policy of the US government establishing troop readiness, lethality, cohesion, but then it goes on to talk about honesty and humility and integrity, and suggests that merely being trans is inconsistent with those values. That seems a very direct attack on trans people. I went to this executive order in the first place wondering if there was some objective standard being posited, whether to do with physical strength or anything else, and there's none of that at all. It's just generally blasting trans identity in itself and suggesting that that should be, that people should be, I guess, kicked out of the military for it. Very, very hostile, frankly bigoted policy in my view.
Well, the social conservative position is that, frankly, that only men should serve in the armed services. I saw some commentary from Matt Walsh, for instance, of the Daily Wire the other day, urging Pete Hegseth not to go back on his initial assertion, which is that the military should be only for men. Only men are able to satisfy the standards of physical fitness. The vast majority of women cannot. I think he said that even, now I would say that for combat roles, that does make sense. but there are also non-combat roles in the military where you can have women serving, and also if there is a woman who can satisfy whatever the standards are, that's fine. But the social conservatives take the view that that even those roles in an emergency would have to be combat roles and should only be satisfied by men.
But I don't think we want to get into that category of excluding women or trans people from roles that are not objective. Of course it is important that people in the military or in any occupation that requires physical strength meet those standards. But that is a different thing from banning people on the basis of gender or gender identity. Women do serve in combat in the military. They have served honorably in that respect. I don't think we should get into this what would we say, inflammatory, which is what Matt Walsh kind of specializes in, inflammatory arguments that seem mainly geared
I mean, I'm just
toward
giving you what the
garnering.
this is not my position.
I understand.
I agree with you,
position.
but Matt Walsh is not alone in thinking this. There are a lot of social conservatives out there, and they think traditional gender roles matter and should be reinforced. They don't really accept the transgender category entirely. They think those are men pretending to be women or women pretending to be men, and there are prescribed roles for men and women, and
but you agree that they're wrong about it. I mean,
I am stating the conservative view for the sake of the
but you do
audience,
accept that they're wrong.
It is not my view. Yes, I agree with you.
Right. Excellent.
I agree that transgender people are real, and I don't have any problem with women or anyone else serving, particularly in non-combat roles, or if there's a very physically fit individuals of any gender can pass the test, that's fine with me.
Excellent. Well, we seem to be in a moment of agreement.
How about that? Up next, what is DeepSeek and why is it causing havoc? We're going to discuss. Stay tuned.